This is the Big O Show. 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 This is
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
Coverage of Zach Thomas's induction into the Pro Football Hall of Fame is brought to you by EJDconstruction.com. For additions, home remodeling, and custom work, call Eric at 305-433-4843. EJDconstruction.com is the custom home builder and general contractor you can trust.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CS, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
When you move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks, eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. You can rely on Essential Moving Experts. Mention the Big O Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated, they offer free 30-day storage, full-service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com.
Oh, I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Sloman Shield home security system guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Sloman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Sloman Shield.
Hialeah Park Casino is turning 10, and we're bringing you an anniversary bash like never before. See a million, win a million. Join us every Saturday in August, where 10 lucky customers will have a chance to take home $1 million. Snap a selfie with $1 million in cash, post it on social media, and get ready to win even more fantastic prizes. Come to Hialeah Park Casino's 10th anniversary celebration and make history with us. When you see a million, win a million.
With more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes, Welton Rayom is committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. They They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle, slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. That's 954-966-4646. Welton Rayom can help.
Coverage of Zach Thomas's induction into the Pro Football Hall of Fame is brought to you by CuttersEdgePro.com, your total landscape solution. Improve, beautify, and increase property values through landscape. CuttersEdgePro.com provides high-quality, great service and products at a fair market value.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
Our platform's coverage of Zach Thomas's induction into the Pro Football Hall of Fame is brought to you by EJDconstruction.com, Welton Rayom Law Firm serving South Florida to the Keys, Perdomo Cigars. Visit their retail store in Miami Lakes. CuttersEdgePro.com, your total landscape solution. Sloman's Home Security. Visit them at slomans.com. Baptist Health of South Florida. Visit them at baptisthealth.net. On behalf of everyone on the Big O radio show platform, we'd like to congratulate Miami Dolphins Hall of Famer linebacker Zach Thomas. The Big O radio show hits the road once again. This time, Miami Dolphins fans, we're in Canton, Ohio to watch Zach Thomas get the honor he deserves as he's inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. This road trip is brought to you by Cutter's Edge Pro, Sloman's Home Security, EJDconstruction.com, Perdomo Cigars, Baptist Health of South Florida, and Welton Rayom Law Offices. And now, here's your host, Orlando Alzugari.
Alrighty. I think we got to go this way. Yes, we got to go that way to kind of center the whole thing. Good morning. Oh, man. Good morning. I'm going to try to go off memory here if I can get the password for this thing. Hopefully it joins. We'll see if I actually remembered the password. No, I didn't. All right, so if you can, just, pass it over to me over here because I'm going to need it. Because I got to pull up the chat board. This is what I have my iPad. I have two iPads. Oh, wait a minute. It says share password. God, I love Apple. Hold on. Oh, that's it. I don't need it. Apple share. See, you Android people. You don't know. But our apples speak to the manzanas. Speak to the Eli apples. Speak to each other. That's what it is. It's the Eli apples. They be talking to each other. So there we go. So now we're set. Now we've got it. All right. Welcome aboard, folks. We are in Canton, Ohio. We are here for Zach Thomas. Looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun. Let me pull this crap up here. Make sure. Sorry, folks. I want to make sure I pull up the chat board there. There we go. Now I've got the chat board going. So we're set. Love it. Don't forget to smash it. There we go. All right, we got the chat board going. We got it all there. Wow, Nizzle, thank you, sir, for the love in the super chat already. Happy Hall of Fame weekend. Linebacker 54, Zach Thomas. I like it. Thank you, Nizzle. Appreciate it. And it was fun yesterday. You know, we were here and we arrived, I want to say, you know, after making a line at Avis for about 2 hours to get the car. Was it 2 hours? But at least an hour and a half, right? At least an hour and a half. We were like 90 minutes just to get the damn car. Because apparently, you know, the Cleveland airport got bombarded because there's this event called the Hall of Fame. And apparently they didn't bring any extra employees to the airport, knowing that they would get a blitz of people. So not very smart, especially Amos. We were there for like 90 minutes. Dude. There was one person on the counter. One person. Anyway, so by the time we got our car and all that stuff, We checked in and we went to this restaurant, and the game had just started and all that, and so we saw the intros of the players and Zach Thomas, and I think by the time we were done with our food and we got back to the room, we saw the interview with Zach, obviously, because it was during the blackout, actually, in the fourth quarter when they interviewed Zach in the fourth quarter because they were trying to fill some time. So they got Zach and DeMarcus Ware in there to do some interviews and fill some time during the blackout there because apparently they had some electric issues. We didn't get here early enough. I saw a strong contingent of Dolphins fan at the game yesterday. That was pretty cool. If I would have known that many Dolphin fans would have showed up, I would have gone. We would have come an extra day earlier and be ready for the game yesterday. That would have been that was cool. Next time we know who's next in line. Richmond Webb, Keith Sims. I mean, not Keith Sims. Sam Madison, Pat Surtain, no shot. I hate that the Marks brothers, like both of them, deserve to be in the Hall of Fame, and no mention. I don't know who's next. Who's for sure next? Is there a for sure that's next? Because, we talk about Kuchenberg, and then we talk about Richmond Webb, and we talk about the Marks brothers, people that we think are supposed to be there, but yet they're not. You know what I'm saying? So it sucks, actually, to be quite honest. It's a little dark. Maybe we should, you know what? That makes it dark? Oh, this one? Okay. Let's try. Nah, it didn't help. I think we're going to have to open a shade. That's what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to open up a shade so people can see inside a little bit more. Por favor. Anyway, so we are here. Remember, today at 2 o'clock, we're hopefully going to meet some fans. Hopefully some fans will show up. But what's it called? You know what I'm thinking? I don't know. See? Yeah, that helps. Yeah, that helps. It's only one thing I don't think this is good. Everybody walking by sees that we got our equipment. Because literally, our window, there's just a parking lot right there. Like the cars are parked like right in front of us. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if it's a good thing, actually, for them to be able to look into our room like that. But anyway, it is what it is. We're here. So what are we going to do? You guys live it with us, by the way. We are transparent as hell. This is who we are and what we're doing and heading on the road and all that good stuff. You get to see the raw. Oh, Lordy. What do we got here? Brian Walters was first in today. Reminding everybody, please smash the like button. Very important. Very important. Jolie Blonde wants to remind us that he just farted. Okay. Now, listen, farting doesn't really matter unless you're able to nail somebody else with it. You hotbox them, you crop dust them, that's really, or you go like in an elevator. You ever walked in an elevator and then the guy that's walking out or the woman that's walking out, and then you walk in and you go, whoa, and they floated an air biscuit right there. So yeah, no doubt. But Blonde, you got to make sure you nail somebody with it. You know what I'm saying? Timothy Eason is in. Bromar Smelly also just farted too. It's Friday Fart Day is what it is. And he is smelly. Giovanni is in. Mike T is in. Lisa Rose is in, reminding us 37 days until kickoff. Brian says, I just listened to former Dan Cilio. He used to be on QAM. He is just like you, Big O. He was on the Lockbox on Canes and says he walked out in 2012 on Canes. He has a show. Huh? I'm not sure exactly what you're talking about. I mean, I know Dan Silio's crazy ass. Definitely not like me, but anyway. What up, Steven is in the house. Thank you, sir. Coach AJ is in. Can't wait to be at the Rock next Friday. Zuko, pray storms stay away tomorrow for camp coming down from Tampa. Gus 1388. Jack Sultan is in. Dude 67. Nizzle, thank you. We mentioned that. Chase 1. Alexis. Think Blue Dodgers. Miami Breaker 305. Sneak Attack. Couldn't be any happier for Zach. That guy literally left it all on the field. He had to be one of the best linebackers at getting interceptions, no doubt. GP Trap is in. Nizzle. SM Ducky. Nyborg. Les Jams. How big would the move from Android to iPhone affect my life? So it all depends, man. You know what I mean? I was an Android guy for many years, and regular computer guy, a PC guy, and then I switched over to Apple. I don't know what it was, like 10 years ago, and I've never looked back. It's an enormous difference, especially with computers. With the phones, I'll give iPhone the edge sometimes in some things, and maybe the Android might. But on computers, you have to go Apple. It's not even close. I learned my lesson when my daughter was young. Actually, it was closer to 20 years because my daughter's over 20. It was 20 years when we switched to Apple, not 10. Because she was like, 7 or 8 or something. We started to get her a computer, and she went through computers like it was going out of style. And that's because we were buying PCs. So, you always hear about Apple and it's a little bit more expensive, but it actually ends up becoming cheaper. Do you know why? What you would have bought one Apple, you're going to end up buying 3 computers. So I bought her an Apple and she beat that shit up for like years and years and years. 85% of the viruses in the world are made for PCs, not Macs. So I'm not sure if some of you know that. So you definitely want to go, Mac over PC. Every day of the week and twice on Sundays. Willie is in the house out in Colombia. Says, happy Friday. Blessings from our universal God. Good orderly direction. Jack Sultan is in. Duck Dog is in. Let's see. We don't need to see your hat hair. Well, no, this is not hat hair. This is this is just showered and it's still wet hair is what it is. Lisa says, posted the info in a couple of Dolphin Facebook. A bunch of people said they would be showing up today. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people have told me that they're showing up. I met some people on the plane that are showing up because we had Dolphin fans on the plane. So, we're hoping it's just not me and Sean. Adam Outdoor Bushcraft is in. Suds is blowing kisses. Thank you. Kisses to you out there. Jerry Norville is in the house. Strafasi says, hope Richmond Webb makes it to the Hall of Fame. Is Tony? Yeah, Tony Baselli made it. Chad is in. Yeah, you thinking because Baselli had a short career. Yeah. Yep. Wish I could be there with you guys in Canton. Darn, family obligation gets in the way. This is an honor long, and I mean long overdue for Zach. I agree. Carlos Sanchez says, I'm coming tonight. We'll miss the sing-along. Boo. Sorry, Carlos. It's because we couldn't do it on Saturday because then it gets all crazy. And then Sunday, people are going to travel. We're traveling Monday. We're staying for the event, the round table, because I did that for the Marino one. And that is, to me, the best event of the week is the round table, actually, because they get to tell stories and it's different. Like, it's great to see the Hall of Fame induction itself and all that, but let's be honest, speech after speech gets boring. I'm here for Zach's speech. And that's all. The only speech I really, really. What am I going to lie and tell you? Oh, yeah, I can't wait to hear DeMarcus Ware and Joe Thomas. By the way, the amount of weight that Joe Thomas has lost, I'm still amazed. Watching him yesterday, I'm still freaked out. Chad says Apple makes their products pretty much dummy-proof. PC definitely is the way to go for gaming, but for regular use and creating music, Apple is the way. I've had many MacBook Airs now, a decade now. Yeah, it's just a durable computer, man. Durable as hell. Pat says iPhone, pad, all the way. I have a 10-year Windows PC, and it sounds like a jet engine right now, and it's working so hard trying to stream the show. And remember, you can make a donation through Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. And by the way, I'd be remiss if I did not mention, because yesterday on Venmo, you guys can send a Cash App or Venmo whenever you're listening to the show or anything. And yesterday, Greg Sash sent in a generous Venmo. So thank you very much, Greg. Appreciate it. He says, looking forward to a great season. So we got that after the show. And I just want to make sure I give Greg a little love. I did send him back a note, but always appreciate however you guys support our show, watching, hitting the like button, visiting our amazing sponsors. You know what I mean? So, and welcome to BaptistHealth.net. Baptist Health is one of our new sponsors also. So welcome to Baptist Health. It's Baptist Health is part of my family, bro. I had my heart procedure there. My wife had her when she broke her jaw when a Metro bus ran her ass off the road. My daughter was delivered at Baptist. God, everything. My colonoscopy I just did was Baptist. Everything we've done in our family is Baptist. So it's actually perfect that Baptist Health is a sponsor of our platform. So welcome aboard to Baptist Health. And of course, thanks to all of the sponsors like Welton Rayom. That's one of the reasons why we're here. That amazing law firm in Hollywood, serving all of South Florida and beyond. Even one of our listeners in Orlando hired Welton Rayom. They will definitely, and we're gonna get Dan on. And why? I know we're a sports show, right? But I kind of like talking about life a lot. You know, hey, listen, man, I'm an older person, man. You know, I have different interests in life, and so this sometimes is going to be a show where I'm going to generalize things, and we're going to talk about life, and we're going to talk about investments, and you know, whatever it is going to happen, music, whatever, politics. I'll throw it in there. I don't care. You know what I mean? As you know, if you listen to this show, you're going to get all kinds of things. But they did change the insurance laws, and I'm really concerned about that because they've put us, the consumer, in a really difficult position. And so I want one of the guys from the law firm to come and explain it to us, just in case, because we are in the middle of hurricane season. And some of us, unfortunately, if we suffer any kind of damage, these new laws are going to get in our way, actually, not necessarily help us. And so definitely want Daniel Rayom to explain that to you. So I talked to the guys and I said, hey, man, we got to talk about this. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I don't know, Sean, what do you think? Does the shade really matter? Because it's still like right here. I'm still like.
Yeah, it's the part that's not the part not facing the.
Right. Exactly. So if I was like this, right? That's the way it would work, I would imagine. But anyway, so we got all of that going on. If you are in Canton today, 2:00, Pro Football Hall of Fame, let's meet there. Let's gather around Shula's bust at 2 p.m. and we're going to sing the Dolphin fight song. Have some fun. You know what I was thinking, okay? And I should put it up for vote. So my mind is working, Sean, like it does once in a blue moon. And so Miami has the Dolphins, the greatest football team. We take the ball from goal to goal like no one's ever seen. We're in the air, we're on the ground. We're always in control. Now, should we say we're in the air, we're on the ground? McDaniel's always in control. And when you say Miami, you're talking Super Bowl. Do we change it? No, right? We keep it normal?
I don't think so.
Okay. All right. Okay. Or do we do 2 versions? Everybody's there.
We can add 2 in there too. We can do 3 versions.
We can do 3 versions with Tua in control. So that way we play on those days that Tua kicks the ass, right? We play Tua. And then McDaniel kicks ass all the time. We play McDaniel. And then we keep the general one forever. Huh? When Fangio is in control. We do 4 of them. No, too clunky sounding. No, McDaniel's in control. Nah, Greer's always in control. Everyone for the new version say aye. Keep original version, says Lisa.
We should sing it like
sounds like Big O stayed in a Holiday Inn Express last night. Well, it's close enough. It's what's it called? Is it some kind of Hyatt or something? Right? Hawthorne. Yeah, but it's part of Wyndham. That's it. It's part of the Wyndham family. It's actually not a bad hotel. I got to say, not too bad, considering it's Akron, Ohio. I haven't seen LeBron, by the way. Oh, he's in California? He's not here? Okay. Or he's either in California or at a Messi game, right? That's what it is. Something along those lines. Anyway, Marlins lose 3 of 4 to the Phillies yesterday. Today they start a set with the Rangers. 8:05, Jesus Luzardo on the mound, and Jordan Montgomery will be towing the slab for the Rangers. We've got Manny Navarro joining us at 11 o'clock. So we've got that going on. And what else do we have going on? Browns defeated the Jets last night, 21-16. The MILF hunter did throw a nice pass, a 57-yarder down the sideline. Mekhi Becton got injured again. Boy, that guy's always injured, dude. No Rodgers, no Rapist. No Watson. Sorry about that. Dorian Thompson-Robinson put on a show last night. Kid played well yesterday. That was fun to watch. I'm not, I was never a Kellen Mond fan. And, I was talking with Sean about that last night. Mond is one of those guys that wows you because he has some talent, dude. Like, the Lord blessed him. He's got some athleticism, and he's got a rocket of an arm. He really can. He's got a gun, dude. But the problem is he just doesn't know where the hell it's going. And that's the reason why Mond is one of those guys that will wow you and then kind of disappoint you. By the way, that's Austin Jackson in this training camp, just so you'll know. Because I've read where people are saying he's playing well, and I think they're not watching it all the time, and I think they may not be getting any insight either on what's going on. But frustrations with Austin Jackson in the building are that he looks really good on one play, and then he looks on other plays like he completely forgot and has no idea how to play left tackle, right tackle, guard, center, even be on a football field, read whatever's going on the board, whatever. That's what I'm saying. Like, his play looks like he's completely out of place. And that's what I saw the other day on the one-on-ones, where back-to-back Jalen Phillips and Ogba made him look just like he was like doing nothing. So that's why I kind of told you that, there's going to be some stuff there. And listen, we're at the part in camp where you're going to see interchanging and people trying other things and moving guys around. So expect tremors. and you'll see some stuff happening on the offensive line. But I can tell you that he's one guy that is just absolutely frustrating the crap out of the people in the coaching staff and front office. By the way, the Dolphins did make a move. They added a piece to their secondary. They signed cornerback Mark Gilbert, as the team announced today. He was an undrafted free agent with the Steelers. He appeared in 8 games for Detroit last season. Gilbert didn't make the Lions' 53-man roster in 2022. He went back to the Steelers practice squad. He also spent some time with the USFL Pittsburgh Maulers in the spring. So they add another cornerback. And I would imagine this is one of those developmental guys that they're looking to kind of maybe, one, for depth purposes, but 2, practice squad too, because towards the end of camp and when you get down to 53, you're going to have to make some cuts, and then you're going to have to make some moves to move some guys to practice squads. So this is one of those guys that probably has potential to be in a practice squad and a guy they probably feel that they can work with. And that's why you're seeing this move, being made. Cam Jordan, I saw, agreed to a 2-year deal with the Saints. Man, he is one hell of a find for them, dude. 15 years. And he's been an absolute rock. Pretty damn impressive with Cam Jordan. What else do we have going on in the world of sports? Let me see what we got on the chat board. Will the fight song be streamed live? No, we're not going to stream it live because I don't want to ruin the recording, Lisa. So we're going to make a clean recording and then post it, because you might have interference and things like that, and then it ruins the song. You know what I'm saying? So we'd rather have a clean recording. We'll have a professional do it. Okay? And so there's a professional around us, actually. And so since the professional will handle it, it'll look good, it'll sound good, all that kind of stuff. Okay? So that's how we're going to handle it. Alejandro says, hope the crowd builds up at the Shula statue with you. Can't wait to see the video. I hope so too. I hope it's not 2 or 3 people with us. That would be pretty bad. Let's see. You have not heard the Dolphin fight song until you've heard it in the original Klingon, LOL. So they have Klingons singing it. All right. No doubt is in the house. Sharon says, I wish I was there to enjoy, brother. Hope to meet up with you as soon as I can, says Jeff from Long Island. Hope so too, Jeff. I know you were with us over at Slattery's, right? Wasn't Jeff in Long Island? Didn't he go with his son? I want to say Jeff. Didn't you go, Jeff? Right? You were the one that went with your son, right, Jeff? I think. Or did you go with your wife? But I thought you went to Slattery's. Frankie Fresco says, Miami Dolphin fans are great traveling to see Zach Thomas Hall of Fame. We have one of the most dedicated fans in the world. Yep, we do. Our fan base. I laugh at people that tell me that our fans aren't good and that we don't have loyal fans and we don't have dedicated fans. And it's like, brother, I'm getting off the airport. I'm at the airport, and I run into Martin Lydon, from the UK fans, and Dolphins UK, I think is how it is, right? Miami Dolphins UK, and immediately we start chatting it up. I'm arriving from Miami. He's arriving from London. Give me a break, dude. I deal with fans in Mexico and Portugal and Malaysia and Canada, London, or England, all over England, actually. Give me a break, dude. I know our fan base is absolutely awesome. Awesome. And what proves that our fan base is awesome is they haven't won shit in decades. And the support is always there, dude. Always there. I really can't say enough about our fan base. So I agree with you, Frankie. I defend our fans all the way to the end. Let's see. Strafasi, we can't have the inconsistency from Austin Jackson. Well, he'll get cut eventually. So it is what it is. You move on. Let's see. Oh, any idea why the Oilers had the same fight song? Well, we did it first. Okay, the song was written by us, right? The guy wrote it for us. And then because it was, I believe it was like rejected or something like that, or I forgot how the story went. And then the Oilers copied it, actually. But it is originally because sometimes people will tell you it's originally an Oilers song, and it's not. It's originally a Dolphins song. But there was some shit that the guy wrote it for the Dolphins, and then it didn't catch on. So I think he got pissed and then rewrote it for the Oilers or something along those lines or something like that. I'd be curious to get your assessment on what NFL teams come out in most numbers to represent their Hall of Fame inductees this weekend. Does Miami Dolphin fans have the greatest number? Emilio, we can't judge it this year, brother. We're in Ohio. There's a Brown going in. Joe Thomas. I can't imagine that. You know what I'm saying? There's no way. We'll have Dallas fans here. We'll have Jets fans here. We'll have Dolphins fans here. I can measure them against those guys. But Cleveland should dominate, because, dude, we're 40 minutes away from Cleveland. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe an hour, whatever. But it's like we're right there next to Cleveland. So driving to Canton is nothing for people. So I can't see anybody beating Cleveland this weekend. We have to measure it against the other ones. And I'll tell you, when I look around, we'll compare it to the Jets and we'll compare it to the Cowboys. And by the way, the Jets and the Cowboys have 2 each, right? Don't the Cowboys have 2? I know the Jets have 2. It's DeMarcus Ware and somebody else? Or is it only DeMarcus Ware? Yeah, double check. I know the Jets have 2 because they have Revis and they have Klecko. By the way, I am all for the Klecko induction. Okay? Not that I'm rooting for a Jet or anything, but you got to respect people when they earn what they should get. And I get it, they didn't win a lot, but Joe Klecko was a hell of a player, dude. I wouldn't put Gastineau in the Hall of Fame, but I'd easily put Klecko in the Hall of Fame. So I'm happy for him. We talk about Zach's weight. I think he said 35 years yesterday, I want to say. 35 years. 35 years. Crazy shit, dude. That's a lot. But I got to give, he was a load, brother. He was the one guy, Marty Lyon was a good player, no doubt. And Gastineau had his moments, but Joe Klecko was like, he was, impossible to deal with. He was a load, brother. So I give him props. He deserves the honor for sure.
Yeah, Cowboys have 2.
Who was the other one?
Chuck Howley.
Chuck Howley, an older guy. That's right. That's it. Thank you. So those 2 fan bases have 2 guys going in, and they have in Cowboys' case they have two different complete generations of Cowboys going in. So do the Jets have 2 completely different generations of Jets going in. So that gives you even more. It'll be an older fan that really loves Klecko or Howley, and then they'll show up. So we'll see. Miles Deep says, good morning from Vegas. Nice. John Padilla, thank you for the love on the super chat. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Says, let's go. This is our season. Suds is in. Says, being a Dolphins fan hurts so good. Hey, man, no matter what, we're here, right? No matter what happens the year before, we can complain, we can bitch, We hated Joe Philbin. We can't stand this guy. Can't hate that this happened. And we're here the next day. And we're here the next year. And we're here for the next training camp. And we're here for the next preseason. And, you know, we come back, man. We're loyal. You know what I'm saying? So it's all good. It's all good. Rosendo says, Fridays are a time to wake up and be grateful for the good things in life and look forward to the weekend with hope and positivity. Enjoy your trip, Big O and Mr. Stanley. We definitely will, man. We definitely will. Dude, I see your locks at 56. You should have plenty of hair for many more years to come. Keep it healthy, yo. Looking like a rock star, buddy. Don't shave that off until you get a horseshoe. Yeah, no, I'm going to hang on to it until I can. I'm definitely going to hang on to the locks. The locks. The locks. Yeah, no, I got to hang on to them. I got to hang on to them. For sure. By the way, no doubt you say, have a hot dog, guys. Fins up. Sean, what is right across the street from our hotel? Dairy Queen Grill and Chill, dude. So if I want to get gutsy and try another Dairy Queen hot dog, it's right across the street. Now I got a Hardee's. I had their continental breakfast today. Kind of mediocre. That's the only thing I would say in the hotel that was kind of mediocre. It was those powdered eggs, and the French toast was, I don't know, diet bread or something. I don't know what they used, but they used a bread that, you know, was thinner than, I don't know what it was. It was just like, looked like a Triscuit, you know? So anyway, so I think I'm going to try my Hardee's breakfast tomorrow because they got a good chicken biscuit. So maybe we'll do that. Pat says, How Habit did a story on the man who wrote the song, sent the link to you. Interesting story. It's something like that, right? That he wrote it and it like didn't get airplay, was kind of pissed. And
he's from Houston. He wrote it for them.
He wrote it for the Oilers first?
He rewrote it.
Right, he wrote it for them. Right, that's what I thought. Yeah.
He wrote it first in 72 after the Super Bowl.
Right. He wrote it for us, and then it didn't catch, right, or something. So there was something going on that he got pissed and then wrote it for the Oilers. But I think it's something like that. Let me see what Pat sent me. Here we go. What the hell, right? Let's clear it up right here, right now, okay? All right, Lee Offman. Well, Offman is the guy who wrote and performed Miami Dolphins' #1, also known as the Dolphins fight song, also known in other AFC cities as Blasted whenever the Dolphins scored at home. In 72, when the Dolphins achieved immortality, Offman achieved his sliver of fame. Official recognition and royalties were hard to come by because nobody believed he wrote it. Everybody assumed nobody could have written it, that it was one of those public domain things that came down like the Ten Commandments, Offman said, shaking his head. Offman caught up with the Dolphins' drive to 17-0, scribbled the jingle on the back of a notepad, added a catchy melody that stuck in his head, gathered some musician buddies, and recorded it at Criteria Studios in Miami, which, by the way, I want to say Judas Priest, Iron Maiden also recorded albums in Criteria. An agent hired to promote it had 10,000 copies pressed. Then nothing. But after the Dolphins won the Super Bowl, they returned to Miami International Airport to thousands of fans. Many were singing Offman's tune. What the hell is this? Offman said when he saw the scene on television at the time. Offman was a budding musician in Louisiana, tiny town of rowdy seamen. Offman called a friend in Miami and asked if he had heard of a song called Miami Dolphins #1. Lee, if I hear that one more time, I'm going to break my radio, the friend said. Offman said it was his song. Bull, his friend said, a reaction Offman would hear over and over. When he called the program director at Miami's top 40 station, repeatedly played the song, the guy hung up. So Hoffman flew to Miami and still couldn't get anyone to believe him. Desperate for proof, he went to a record store for one of those 10,000 copies and told the clerk it was his song. The clerk said $1.98. I was ready to go back to Homua, and hopefully one of those longshore guys would pick a fight with me because I was ready to kill somebody. Hoffman can laugh about it, but the times the Houston Oilers played and revamped recording he made for them in an unsuccessful attempt to profit from the tune, now he's 63 years old, an attorney in Franklin, Tennessee, who said he doesn't get out of his way to tell prospective clients who he is because it's not really conducive to a criminal lawyer's reputation. He may not have to. A couple of moves by Dolphins owner Stephen Ross thrust Hoffman, or at least his recording, back into the spotlight. Ross this past spring announced a business partnership with Jimmy Buffett, who reworked a version of his hit in a salute for the fans and being played several times on game day in the Landshark Stadium, yada, 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 all that stuff. So anyway, but I told you, it was written for us. And then the whole thing, he then wrote it over for the Oilers. But that's listen, man, this world is full of misinformation. We try to do this on the show all the time, right? We try to help you and correct you. And, we got media members and people putting out stuff that isn't true. And I got to all the time straighten this shit out and tell you, hey, man, there's no truth to any of this. This is not really what's going on. This is what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And this goes on in life and what's going on in our banking and financial world. Governments are all the governments are lying to all of us. Doesn't matter who it is. I was talking with Martin yesterday, and in his country, it's an even bigger mess than ours because we're actually bouncing back faster from the pandemic and everything else than Europe is actually, and South America. Oh my God, let's not even talk about what's going on in South America. That's really bad. But there's just misleading crap all over the place, and so people, like you just saw that guy, they're walking around with ears thinking that it's the Oilers song because somebody else tells them, and then nobody else, and somebody tells you something, and you don't go to find out the information. And that's what you need to do. You know what I'm saying? So, what are you going to do? DQ across the street, they're taunting you. They are, Gordon. They are. Let's see. Don't do it, Big O. Don't do it. Trust me, I won't. If anything, I'll go to Dairy Queen for is for an Oreo Blizzard. Okay? That's about it. Miles Deep says, I'm a regional manager in Vegas. 2 Dairy Queens, 1 Grill and Chill, and an Orange Julius, LOL. Funny you mentioned that flamethrower burger, real good. Well, all I know is don't have a hot dog and Dairy Queen in the Panhandle. Okay? Miles Deep, maybe your place does things the right way, but the one I had in the Panhandle, holy shit. Oh, you've got to have Whataburger breakfast, dude. Oh, my God, that is the best breakfast sandwich from a drive-thru, promise you. Can you check if we have a Whataburger here in Ohio? I don't know if we have any here. I love Whataburger. So I go to Whataburger when I go to, although I screwed up. I didn't take Sean the last time I went. We have to go to next time. Only Klingons can eat DQ hot dogs. That's the important part. I'm not a Klingon. You see? Yeah, no bumps. Hearing the story from Peyton Manning about Zach, knew this day was coming. You hope so, man, right? You hope so. I just took the Dolphins under 8.5 wins for minus 200. Under 8.5 wins. All right. I like it. I am going to take the Dolphins over 9.5. That's what I would do. Easily over 9.5. They will easily win double-digit games this year. That I can tell you for sure. So we will have, by the way, make sure you subscribe. You also hit the notification bell. Sunday at one point, I would imagine it's in the afternoon or in the evening, after we're done with Zach over at the event, the round table, because we'll definitely go to that. I don't know how much of that we can actually film, or of the round. Do they let us film the round table, or some of it, or something?
And the media notes are a little bit
Gray?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So the round table, I can't wait for it, because I went to the Marino one, and it's really cool because you're in this building, and they're in the middle in a round table. That's what's called the round table, and they're all telling stories, and they're going back and forth, all kinds of stuff. And sometimes there might be even an experience in between them and a game or whatever, and it's really, really cool conversations. Whereas, like on Saturday, it'll be fun, it'll be typical and all that kind of stuff, but it's not really anything earth shattering. You know what I'm saying? But on Sunday, that stuff is really, really cool that goes on in the round table. So I'm looking forward to that, and then we'll obviously post the interview, because I'm not sure if we're getting Zach before or after the round table, but either way, we will post it after that. So I would imagine sometime in the afternoon to early evening, our Zach Thomas one-on-one interview will drop. So you'll have an interview, you'll have a shot to catch that interview here with us. So looking forward to that. What else do we have going on in the world of sports?
I'm thinking about 10 hours.
We're 10 hours from, yeah, no, that's a little far. 10 hours from a Whataburger is far. I usually stop at the Whataburger when I drive to Mobile. Sometimes I don't fly to Mobile. Sometimes I drive, and I don't mind driving. I like driving. And it's not that bad of a drive, as long as you don't stop at Dairy Queen for a hot dog. I usually stop at the Whataburger in Tallahassee. That's usually where my maybe first to second stop. Depends. It's hard to hold, number one all the way to Tallahassee. Usually I got to stop somewhere and really quick pit stop and run back to the car and keep trucking to Tallahassee. But yeah, usually Tallahassee is where I visit my Whataburger, and then there's one in Mobile, right off of Government, if I'm correct. I think it's Government Boulevard, closer to I-60. So that I can tell you, and I do love Whataburger. That's for damn sure. Manny Navarro will join us at 11 o'clock, so he'll join us in about 14 minutes. Did you see that Larsa Pippen's a little disappointed that Michael Jordan won't hang out with her? Apparently, Michael wants nothing to do with Larsa because she's going out with his son. I saw that story, and I thought it was funny as hell. And her reaction is actually, kind of funny, because she was like on a podcast and asked her, "So have you been hanging out with Michael?" And she says, "No, I haven't hung out with his dad," referring to the NBA legend. "I've only hung out with his mom." Larsa shared, "The family is very private. No, they just don't want to hang out with a skank like you." Michael's like, "Yeah, no, I'm not getting. You're not taking pictures of me with this, and then all you're gonna do is use this as memes, and and Scotty's gonna be mixed into it and all that." Jordan already saw his crying meme go to like another level, right? He even talked about it in the what's that called? Whatever that documentary he did, the 10-part one that was awesome, whatever it was called. I don't know, the MJ one. Anyway, he talked about it there. That the damn meme crying thing has gone crazy. So you would imagine that he's smart enough that him and yeah, that's it. That's it. Last Dance. And so you would imagine that him and his wife are well aware of the world that they live in, and obviously that everybody will go off on it. So if you do that and you're hanging around with Larsa, oh my God. So I don't blame him, but I thought it was funny. No, they're kind of private. No, it's not so much they're private. They just want nothing to do with you, sweetheart. And seriously, outside of, I get it. She's a decent looking woman, so yeah, men would be attracted to her. But outside of the physical attraction, what else would you want to do with Larsa Pippen? Right? There's nothing else that you would do with Larsa Pippen. So it just is kind of funny. Oh man. Let's see what else. How about this one? I thought this was a really interesting story because some of us kind of downplay this. And I know that older fans, when we experienced it or you saw it, it was, well, they rung your bell. And I'm talking about concussions. And Anthony Rizzo of the Yankees has been playing with a concussion for 2 months. 2 months, dude. And by the way, the stats show it. Obviously, everybody knows. Isn't Rizzo from here? Isn't he the local guy? So Rizzo was placed on the 10-day injured list due to post-concussion syndrome that it's being traced back to May 28th against the Padres, in which Fernando Tatis collided with him. The team and manager Aaron Boone revealed that Rizzo had cleared the initial concussion protocol testing at the time of the injury, but that recently complained of fogginess during this past weekend's road series against the Baltimore Orioles. So now he's considered week to week. So people are freaking out that somehow or another they didn't figure this out. And so he says, I've struggled plenty in this game, but I've also done it for a long time, knowing that you usually come out of there and there are signs that I'm coming out of it, right? But here's the problem. He goes, you go to bed sober and you wake up a little hangover saying it didn't feel normal. I know because I've suffered a concussion, and there's this haziness that comes with it, a fogginess that they talk about, and I can tell you it is real, okay? It is real. It goes away, but at first there's this thing, and I know I had it for a couple of days, and then it went away. So he collided with him, right? Listen to this. Rizzo had recorded a 172 batting average and a 493 OPS. 1 home run, 9 RBIs since May 28th, since the collision. Before that, Rizzo was batting 302 and an 880 OPS. Now, you go in funks in baseball. He's right. Sometimes you think it's a funk, but then you find out maybe there's more to this funk. This is not just a regular funk. This is because there's something going on with you. And you have not given yourself any rest. And again, we talk about this all the time. DNA is different. I can run my head into a wall accidentally, and so can Sean. And it might not affect me at all, and it might affect Sean. And it might not affect Sean at all, and I could be dizzy and have headaches for 2 months. DNA is a weird thing, dude. Whether it's COVID, whether it's cigarettes, whether it's banging your head against a wall, we have no idea how one thing is going to affect one person compared to another. One guy can smoke cigarettes, and at 42, he gets emphysema and he's dead. Another guy can smoke cigarettes till the day he dies, and he's 103. And you're like, what the hell is going on here? Weirdest thing, you know? And it's just like that. And concussions are the same way. It's going to affect one person one way. It's going to affect another person another way. So it's just kind of weird. And by the way, let's going back to Tua. Okay. How about this, Sean? Something none of us have ever talked about. Okay. Did he suffer a concussion against the Bills? I think most of us would say yes, right? Wobbled, all that. They called it neck, but he came back and won that game in the second half. Played well. Made a big throw down the middle of the field. I think that was a third or fourth down, if I'm correct. Won the game. How did he play when he was concussed in Green Bay? So one day he was able to overcome it. The other day he wasn't. And that's, again, it's what medicine can't answer. It can't answer it. Can't answer how one person gets COVID and dies and the other person gets sniffles and it doesn't affect them. You know? Can't explain it. Just something you can't explain. So I'm glad that they figured it out, but what I'm also even happier for Rizzo is that he didn't have another kind of collision during that time while he's still in the middle of it, because maybe that's why Tua Tagovailoa could not overcome that concussion the next time around against Green Bay, because he had multiple concussions from Buffalo and then Cincinnati. And then that puts into an effect. And then when you get concussed in Green Bay, boom, everything gets compounded. Again, not a doctor, but it's something that we all got to just kind of be aware. You know what I mean? And it's not the person's fault. It's just a situation. And then medically, you also have to do your part. And that's where maybe the Dolphins screwed up. You know what I'm saying? They didn't mean to, but it happens. Yankees didn't mean to, but it happens. We're not perfect, man. None of us are perfect. So let's not treat people and expect perfection when perfection should not be part of the equation. So there you go. You saw the Texans. They lost their center. Torn ACL, MCL in the left knee, out for the year. Scott Quisenberry. And I only mention not because you guys give a shit about the Houston Texans. None of us care about the Houston Texans. We're not Houston Texans fans. But I just want you to know that injuries happen almost every day in the NFL. And teams might be losing guys for an entire year. Whereas at least you're going to get Jalen Ramsey back at one point or another for a month or two of the season, but you're going to get him back, and you're also going to get him back for the playoffs, which, of course, we're all expecting the playoffs for the Miami Dolphins. But, you know, I saw that, and I want to make a note of it because a lot of you out there, you think that it's, woe is us, and it's only us, and sadly, it's a brutal game, dude. It's going to happen. It's going to happen a lot. Eric says, up here, we don't have these strange burger places you talk about. We have Bill Gray's and Tom Wall's, both good burger places. Now, are you saying up here, Eric Storm, like up here in Ohio? Because if you're telling me that, then we should go to Bill Gray's or Tom Wall's. Which one's better? What's the best burger place in the Canton, Akron area, whatever? How about that? Do we have any Ohio people watching right now that live or work in this area? Give me some, you know, we went to a decent Mexican place yesterday, but we don't have a lot of options here. So we're headed to Canton. Oh, God. Sean, do me a favor. Get me the cable here for the laptop, because the laptop's about to go. I just saw I didn't put the charger. It's there in the bag on the side. You'll see it. one of the pockets. Anyway, so yeah, send us a place to eat, a good burger joint. Big O, you are blessed for the obvious upcoming moments. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. And by the way, the moment might get even better for me. Why? Tesla over here. Over there. Tesla is a car. No. Tesla is rocking tonight. 20 minutes away from here. Should I go? I mean, there's nothing to do at 8 o'clock at night here. Like nothing. Unless you Dolphin fans are having some kind of a party somewhere on Friday night, invite us. Let's go. Sean and I will go. You know what I'm saying? But if there's no parties going on, no get-togethers, I'm thinking I'd go see Tesla Jam tonight. 50 Cent is here, also over the weekend. One of you listeners that follows me, you like this band because you sent me a video, like Mundane or some shit like that. They're like screaming metal. I hate screaming metal. I love metal, but you got to have a singer. And once you're, that's like mumbling rap. Mumbling rap and screaming metal. Effing useless. Okay? In my eyes. Plenty of you like the screaming metal, and plenty of you like mumbling rap. To me, none of it is attractive. I don't want to listen to any of it. I find it all bad music, to be quite honest. Let's see. Michael is schooling her on bros before you know hoes. He didn't put it, I said it. Let's see. Thank you, the Drew. John Padilla, you guys see Miles Turner play against the kids, brought them back to 35 down. Did not. Big O is a badass, bringing us Hall of Fame coverage. Thank you, dude. 67. Appreciate you. Packer game was the odd one. Yeah, it was. Big O, everyone has a different biochemistry and immune system. Amen. Amen. That's why the whole, what's it called, pandemic, and the whole vaccine was made a big deal of. They didn't need to make a big deal of it, bro. It's just a vaccine like measles and everything else that I've taken in my entire life. Take the vaccine, move on. That way, if it does hit you, you got a better shot at surviving it. If you live in Ohio or Akron, ask yourself why. That's wrong, Frankie. That's wrong. Yeah, Tesla's rocks. You got to go. I know. The great radio controversy. I like it, no doubt. Dude still has pipes. Yes, he does sound good still. And you know what? The last 2 times I've seen Tesla, it's been part of a festival, and there's been problems. And either Tesla's show got canceled or cut short. The 2. All right, ready to go. Our number 2 is ready to go. Manny Navarro is next.
Coverage of Zach Thomas's induction into the Pro Football Hall of Fame is brought to you by Baptist Health of South Florida. From orthopedics, sports medicine, cardiovascular, and even cancer, get the world-class healthcare your family deserves at BaptistHealth.net.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. time for Canes fans to get what they want. Information, insight, and perspective. It's the Canes Wear Miami Hurricanes Report with Manny Navarro, exclusively on the Big O Radio Show. Here's Big O and insider Manny Navarro.
All right. Good morning, sir. How are you doing, my man? Oh, you're mute. Mute. You are muted.
Hi.
There we go. There we go.
All right. Sorry about
that. Bro, it's all good, bro. It is what it is. It's the life we are in nowadays. It's a different world. Anyway, so Pac-12, is it Pac-8, Pac-6, Pac-4?
It's amazing. This is all happening in real time right now, Big O. I think earlier today, Nicole Auerbach, who works with me at the Pac-12, is going to stick together. Can you hear me okay? We're good?
Okay, go ahead. Nicole Auerbach, that works with you at the Athletic, go ahead.
Yeah, she had reported that it looked like they were going to stick together, that Oregon and Washington were going to stay, and they were going to sort of become the Pac-8 again, right? Which they were years and years ago.
Yeah.
But they didn't reach a media deal this morning. So I would say that it's not finished until everybody who's still in the Pac-12 signs that TV deal and they get locked into a grant of rights. So I think we will see what happens this afternoon, but it's a very interesting story to watch. And certainly I think you look at the ACC, right, and what they're going to do, to try to make Florida State happy, et cetera. All those things in the background that are sort of going on. It's a very interesting time in college football.
So what's going on in the ACC side of this? Because obviously the shakeup over there's a lot of people that are uncomfortable with the deal here because obviously they see the greed and all the money that's going on with the SEC and the Big Ten.
Yeah, I mean, Florida State earlier this week, obviously their president and board of trustees decided to basically come out and advertise that they're willing to leave the ACC, that they're no longer scared of the grant of rights that they're tied to through 2036, and that they're looking for any sort of revenue stream to make up for the loss that the ACC's TV contract has them at, which if you average it out over the next 13 years will be at least $30 million for every ACC school. They will be that far behind the Big Ten and the SEC in terms of annual income. So, I don't know what the ACC can do. I know that Commissioner Jim Phillips has discussed in the past potentially a partnership with Pac-12 schools to do sort of a, side TV deal where maybe you have a Pac-12, ACC kickoff sort of event where maybe you play some extra. You play a game in early in the year, and that draws some extra TV dollars. But I don't know that any of that is going to make up for the $30 million gap between.
And it's not sexy.
And it's not sexy because there's only a couple of Pac-12 teams that, in all honesty, anybody wants to play, and that's Oregon and Washington. So, I don't know that anybody has any chess moves here, but I also know this. So I don't know that Florida State has a dance partner. Okay, I don't know that the Big Ten and SEC look at Florida State and say, hey, we got to bring those guys in. They have to be a part of our league. If you study the TV ratings from last year, Florida State has 3 of the 4 most watched games in terms of involving an ACC team. But those games were against Florida the day after Thanksgiving. It was the LSU game, the opening game on Monday night when it was the only game everybody was watching. And their bowl game against Oklahoma. So did people tune into those games to watch Florida State, or did they tune into those games because of the matchup and the fact that it was an matchup? And it wasn't, it was exciting for its own purpose. But in the end, if you look at the ACC ratings, like just the league games, there's only 7 games that drew through more than 3 million viewers. Only 7 ACC games. Clemson played in 6 of them. Florida State played in 1. Which was the Clemson game, the Florida State Clemson game. So you just look at the numbers. Who really deserves that money? Who really deserves that raise? It's Clemson, and it's nobody else in the ACC. So I don't know where they go from here. I just know that unless the Big Ten or SEC decides to make a play for Clemson and Florida State, they're not going anywhere because nobody else wants them. And you're not going to make up that gap by going to the Big 12. Big 12's a lateral move. They're making the same money you are here. So It's an interesting story to watch, and we'll see what people come up with.
And Florida State doesn't belong in the Big 12. If anything, you go to the SEC if you're Florida State. That's where I think it'll be sexy for them. Not even, I know the Big 10 will be monetarily, it's great for you, but it's not as sexy for you to go to the Big 10. You'll look kind of odd. Well, I mean, UCLA is going there, right? So it's not like UCLA and what, Stanford? Or no, UCLA and USC are going to.
They're the two schools that are leaving the Pac-12 next year when Oklahoma and Texas move over.
But I get it in their case. It's not so much about sexy. It's not so much about sexy. It's just that your conference is going to crap. So,
the TV deal for the Pac-12 is garbage. I mean, it's an Apple streaming service TV deal, which requires people to subscribe. People will subscribe to watch Messi on Apple TV because he's the greatest soccer player in the world. The MLS as a league is ramping up its game. It's making this effort to bring superstars to the league towards the end of their career. Nobody's making any sort of major changes in the Pac-12. Oregon is not getting sexier. Washington is not getting sexier. Cal and Stanford are not getting sexier. So
that conference hasn't been sexy in over 20 years, dude. Okay,
yeah,
it's been a long time since that conference has been a power conference. It's always been a lesser conference the last couple of decades.
And we keep trying to tell ourselves that these leagues are going to continue to expand, but the reality is ESPN has spent a boatload of money to get the SEC to come and join their channel, and Disney has, right? ABC, and that's where they're going to be broadcasting for years. Who's to say that Disney has any more money to bring in a Florida State or a Clemson, right? And to sweeten the pot even more and make it worth the while for the SEC. So in the end, if you're just cutting into the pie that they already have, why would the SEC want to invite either one of those teams? And the same thing for the Big Ten, who's doing it basically between NBC and CBS and Fox. So I just don't see the reality here being where Florida State has an opportunity to make a jump. They may want to. They may really want to. Maybe the live investors from overseas decide to make a play and create a conference in college football, and that's what saves Florida State and Clemson and everybody else. But I think right now there's only so much money to go around.
Brett McMurphy just put Pac-12 unable to get grant of rights signed this morning, and nothing has changed as far as Oregon and Washington joining Big Ten. Sources told Action Network. Ducks and Huskies still expected to be Big Ten bound when finances are worked out, sources said. So McMurphy is reporting that now.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's very fluid, and what's funny to me is how everybody's able to report on this, right? We got so many different reporters sort of tapped into different people involved with the Pac-12, and I'm sure different people in the Pac-12 are saying different things to the reporters. Some people may think Oregon and Washington don't want to leave. Others, meanwhile, are saying, no, there's no way they stick around for this. So very interesting, man. It's happening in real time, and we will find out, I guess, in the coming days what happens.
All right. The Ruiz stuff. What's happening? Because, boy, everybody's writing all kinds of stuff about what's going on fiscally with him. And I know you kind of enlightened us that 80% of the money is not coming from Ruiz anyways, but I'm sure that 20% is a little bit of a concern.
Sure, and I think that's why you're seeing more advertisements from King's Connection and Miami's NIL saying, hey, we need more people to give money to get these kids paid and to keep them happy. What's happening from Ruiz from a legal standpoint? I mean, that's fascinating, right, in its own right. A guy who was a billionaire and really helping the university to having to deal with everything he's dealing with now. That'll be fascinating to watch. But as far as the University of Miami is concerned, unless the feds, in their investigation reveal some major illegal activity that he was involved in regarding the University of Miami, I don't see how this becomes a problem for them. So other than the fact they got to replace that 20%. So we will see going forward how much money they can raise, how much this really affects their NIL. But I would sell this to the Miami fans who are worried about that. 6 months ago, this would have been a huge problem. Today, it's not as big a problem. and it's not going to blow up Miami's entire NIL department by any stretch. I think going forward, you will continue to see them land recruits and transfers, and it's not like the money doesn't exist or it's not around.
I talked about this earlier in the week, and I think you and I have talked about this in the past. And I don't know the guy from Adam. And I got to say something. I can't say ever a bad thing about John Ruiz. He's always treated me really nice. Him, Diane, all their people. Every time I've had to, contact them or whatever, and I've had him on the show a couple times. And all I've ever seen him do is give money to young people. And so to me, all I know is good shit about the guy. But my Lord, have you ever been involved with somebody in the public eye that you get the amount of negativity you got? Because I'm sure you got it like I did, from a friend of mine calling me to somebody sending me a text to others sending me a DM and this, that, or whatever. And now all those people are coming back saying, I told you. And it's like, I've never seen somebody, I don't know the guy, but I've never seen somebody have that much negativity, and how many people were basically predicting failure or some kind of disconnect or something,
Yeah, I mean, I think he certainly has a lot of people who just don't like him, and that's usually the case with guys who are boisterous, right? He's, as somebody who sort of flaunted his money and talked about, building a stadium for Miami and, all the things he wanted to. He wanted to own the Dolphins. He wanted to own the Marlins. People just love to target, and take shots at dreamers, right? People who have ideas and concepts. And it doesn't surprise me in the least, because I was getting all of those messages throughout the whole process. Every time, somebody asked me about the stadium, and man, is this really going to happen? And is this guy a phony? And is this, and what I love is that people are like genuinely angry, like they hate this guy. And it's like, I sit there and I'm just like, man, why do you care so much? Like,
what did he do to you? Is like,
right.
And by the way, every time I say, hey, by the way, did he? No. And I'm like, okay, all right. Like, okay. And like, I've never seen anybody like that, bro. Like
he is a lightning rod, but he somewhat brought it on himself, right?
I know. His social media is,
and the reality is, and I'm not here to talk bad at John Ruiz at all, because like you said, he's been great to me every time I've talked to him. But the reality is, this doesn't surprise a lot of people because of some of the previous business type ventures he was involved in, with homesteads, sports complex down in, when the Indians were supposing to come to town, and he wanted to build a baseball complex down there, and other things that have sort of fallen through over the years. So, but that's part of business. Businessmen have great success stories, and they have big time failures too. Right. So, look,
when you dream big, you're going to fail big. It's just the way it goes.
So we'll see what ends up happening with John Ruiz. I know this. He's accomplished a lot in his life, a lot more than a lot of other people, and hopefully for him it doesn't end up bad. But we'll see. We got a long way to go. When you're in the middle of a federal probe, it doesn't just sort of flip over overnight. We'll see what they've dug up.
Yeah, and when the feds start investigating you, there's a reason why the feds are investigating you. Those people don't waste time, bro.
Nope.
When they go, it's because they got some material on you, overall. All right, so practice has been going on. What has stood out so far that you can talk about?
Well, listen, it's really hard when they're in shorts and shoulder pads or shells and helmets, whatever they want to call it. What stood out is just how different they look physically at the point of attack on both sides, offensive and defensive line. The freshmen are huge. There's a difference between the size of the Mario Cristobal recruits and the size of the Manny Diaz recruits. It's almost as if Manny and Mario were standing side by side. It'd be a big. So that's what I can tell. I think the kids are happy. They like the offense and defensive changes. But anybody going out there and saying, hey, these guys look great in shorts, not very valuable information. Let's see what happens when they get punched in the mouth. And that's why I wish college football had one preseason game. Just one. Just give us one sort of opportunity to see these guys play, even if it's like a city game, like FIU in Miami or FAU in Miami, something like that, where, you know, you get the starters for a half and then you get all the backups for the second half. And that'd be great. But, you know, that's not obviously because of injuries and everything else. They're not going to put those kids at risk. So we will see what happens when they line up. But you can't take anything out of shorts and shells.
All right. What do you got going on in the Athletic so folks can check you out?
Well, I put out those articles this week on the depth charts and what, you know, how I put out those articles on the depth charts for offense and defense. We also have some more stories coming out next week, previewing the season. I'm going to do my top 25 predictions for each team in terms of the top 25. Oddly, I forget how they titled it last year, but just odd predictions for each team. So I'll have that sort of a fun read. I'm going to have an all-freshman team. So people around the country say, hey, man, who are the best freshmen this coming year? I'm going to have my own preseason team for that. So there's going to be a ton to read in the Athletic. And, of course, all of this conference zaniness that's going on with the Pac-12 and ACC and Florida State and everybody else. We will see what happens. But there's tons to read at the Athletic. I just did a podcast a couple of days ago with Notre Dame's beat writer Pete Sampson for us. We previewed the ACC. We talked about FSU. So if you want to tune in and listen to any of that stuff, you can.
There you go. Follow him on Twitter at Manny_Navarro and catch his work at The Athletic. Better yet, subscribe like I and many others do so you can get all the local stuff and the national stuff, like Mrs. Auerbach breaking some of that college football news. Go to The Athletic and check it out. Manny, have a great weekend, my brother. We will talk next week.
Same you. Take care.
Thank you, sir. There you go, Manny Navarro and our Caneswear Miami Hurricanes report. Go to caneswear.com, and if you order over $99, you will get free shipping.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CS, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
Coverage of Zach Thomas's induction into the Pro Football Hall of Fame is brought to you by Perdomo Cigars. Perdomo has some of the most sought-after handmade cigars that set the standard for quality and flavor around the world. We hope you enjoy their cigars and invite you to visit their retail store in Miami at 5150 Northwest 167th Street, Miami Gardens, Florida.
Hialeah Park Casino is turning 10, and we're bringing you an anniversary bash like never before. See a million, win a million. Join us every Saturday in August, where 10 lucky customers will have a chance to take home $1 million. Snap a selfie with $1 million in cash, post it on social media, and get ready to win even more fantastic prizes. Come to Hialeah Park Casino's 10th anniversary celebration and make history with us. When you see a million, win a million.
I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Sloman Shield home security system guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Sloman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Sloman Shield.
With more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes, Welton Rayom is committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle, slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. That's 954-966-4646. Welton Rayom can help.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
Coverage of Zach Thomas's induction into the Pro Football Hall of Fame is brought to you by EJDconstruction.com. For additions, home remodeling, and custom work, call Eric at 305-433-4843. EJDconstruction.com is the custom home builder and general contractor you can trust. The Big O Radio Show hits the road once again. This time, Miami Dolphins fans, we're in Canton, Ohio to watch Zach Thomas get the honor he deserves as he's inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. This road trip is brought to you by Cutter's Edge Pro, Sloman's Home Security, EJDconstruction.com, Perdomo Cigars, Baptist Health of South Florida, and Welton Rayom Law Offices. And now, here's your host, Orlando Alzugari.
All right. Welcome back. Thank you all for tuning in. As always, you know, when sports and business collide, we like doing something called the KSDT CPA Sports Business Report. All right. Tom Brady is in the news. The 7-time Super Bowl champion has now become a minority owner of the English soccer club Birmingham City. The club, which competes in the EFL Championship, the second tier of England's league pyramid, announced on Thursday that Brady had partnered with the New York-based investment firm Knighthead Capital Management to take a minority stake in the club and will become a chairman of its advisory board. The legendary NFL quarterback ended his football career at the age of 45 after 23 seasons, 7 Super Bowl titles, 5 Super Bowl MVPs. He has since joined with Knighthead in a number of sporting investments around the world. Birmingham City is an iconic club with so much history and passion, and to be a part of the Blues is a real honor for me, Brady said in a statement. Although based in the UK, the second largest city, the club has languished outside of the coveted premiership since 2011, has long been eclipsed by crosstown rival Aston Villa. BCFC is built on teamwork and determination. I'm excited to work alongside the board, management, and players to make our second city club second to none. I've been part of some amazing teams in my day. I'm looking forward to applying my perspective to create the same success here in Birmingham. Brady added, Tom is both investing and committing his time and extensive expertise as chair of the advisory board. Tom will have a direct impact on the club. The goal that Tom committed to its own is to make Birmingham City a respectable leader in nutrition, health, wellness, and recovery across the world of football. How about winning? The goal Tom has is to make Birmingham the leader in nutrition, health, wellness, and recovery across the world of football.
TV 12,
What? So
baby.
everybody's going to eat that fucking avocado ice cream?
Yeah, TV 12.
I thought it was about winning.
No. Not a second level.
The leader in nutrition? I mean, a fat ass like me needs something in nutrition. There's no doubt about that. Dairy Queen's right down the street, you said?
We're overweight, not overrated.
Oh, okay. Health and wellness. Really? That's the goal. Wow. Okay. That's like when Ndamukong Suh signed with the Miami Dolphins. He said, well, Ndamukong, why did you sign with my? Well, because they're a forward-thinking organization. Not because they win. Because that's, if I'm an athlete and I'm joining an organization, it's because they win, bro. They know how to win. Why do you think Damian Lillard wants to come to the Miami Heat and get the hell out of Portland? Because Joe Cronin and his sorry-ass franchise of the Portland Trail Blazers, they don't know how to win. And Damian Lillard, it took him 11 freaking years to realize that. But he goes, hey, those guys in Miami, they know how to win. They've got titles. I go visit them every once in a while, and I look up, and there's some banners. And then I look across, and they're going to championships. They get me. They can actually win one now. So Tom Brady, the goal for Tom, he has committed, all right, to Birmingham City, a respected leader in nutrition, health, wellness, and recovery across the world of football. Tom Brady is sharing avocado ice cream with the world. Birmingham City, good luck. At least you guys will be healthy. That is your KSDT CPA Sports Business Report.
This has been the KSDT Sports Business Report. KSDT CPA is one of South Florida's largest and one of the country's fastest growing accounting firms. KSDT is recognized by Forbes as one of the top tax and accounting firms for 2022. KSDT CPA is a full service firm that also excels in crypto. Visit online at ksdtcpa.com or call 305-670-3370. Coverage of Zach Thomas's induction into the Pro Football Hall of Fame is brought to you by Welton Rayom. With more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes, they're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation, 954-966-4646.
All right. And there's my boys from Cutter's Edge. And again, if you need landscaping, you need maintenance, please call Will and Mike. You're going to love it. When you meet Will, you know you're in good hands.
Oh, no. What happened?
I don't know what happened.
Prayer circle. Oh.
What happened? What are you making? Why are you making me freak out? What's going on here? What are you doing? What are you doing, Sean? What are you trying to do? You trying to freak us out here? 2:00 today. We're going to gather around Shula's bust and sing the Dolphin fight song. Okay? So if you're in town, if you're around, get your butts over there.
They're saying Cam Smith went down at camp. I'm trying to find it.
Oh, Cam Smith went down?
I'm trying to find it right now.
Okay. Apple called for a pass interference. Teron Armstead is playing on 11-on-11s, by the way. He is practicing. Rob Hunt with a nice block on a Wilkins first play, 11-on-11. Raheem Mostert has some good room working around a good seal from Austin Jackson for a gain of 5 or 6 yards. Let's see. Jalen Phillips is wearing the orange jersey today, which means Cam Smith walking gingerly off the field with trainer doesn't appear like he'll return today, says Chris Perkins. So he got a little banged up. Smith and Igbenogamy, back-to-back reps playing under the high point, separate the hands of the receiver and force the incompletion at the last moment. Good period for the young corners. Smith does the exact same thing on his next rep. This is my 5th training camp. Not sure I've seen a player with my breakups with the Rooks that has done 7+ in practice. Maybe X back in 2009. That's Wingfield. And I trust Travis.
See also Perkins.
What do you say?
Eric Nizukama, who left practice early yesterday, not in pads, working on the side.
So Azukama is out of practice today, not working in pads. He got dinged yesterday. All right. Let's see. What else do we have here? First play of the day, Tyreek contested jump ball with a dime from Tua over Noah for for 6 in a low red zone 1-on-1. Good coverage, perfect ball. There you go. Hal is here because he's at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I saw him just take a picture of a thing with Zach and a bunch of his stuff. Tyndall, by the way, is playing much faster this camp. He cuts down on an outside run by Ahmed for minimal gain. Good stack by Agba to help give him the lane. So there you go. Mike White's got a clean pocket, steps up and drives a bullet to Barrios for about 20. Robert Jones helped and then picked up a gain. Good-looking rep to help solidify the interior. So you got some stuff there going on in camp. Good to hear about Austin Jackson having a good moment. Need that badly. Need him to string several good moments together. So we've got a little, Cam Smith getting banged up. Azukama not practicing today on the side. But it doesn't look like it's necessarily real serious. So let's wait. Let's hang in there. I'd rather eat an entire hot dog from a Panhandle DQ than one bite of avocado ice cream. I don't know, dude. I don't know, bro. You have no idea what I went through for a couple of days after that. You may not want to do it. I'm telling you. Perkins says walked off Ginger. Yes, I saw that. Morning, Big O. Sorry I'm late. Been working, but I'm here now. Thank you, Chris. Very nice of you. Drago says, want till those Brit fans get a hold of what Brady's about, they'll run him out of town. Well, he won't be there physically, but they'll let him hear about it. It's a lower division team, so yeah. Dude, it's about wellness. What's wrong with you?
Oh, did you Red Skelton said?
What did Red say? Cam Smith slipped on the concrete and into the bushes. What concrete is there?
The sidewalk going toward the media area.
Yeah, but how do you get all the way over there? There's a lot of grass.
If they work in the end zone.
There's still a lot of grass before you get to the damn sidewalk.
Maybe hit the sidewalk and just slid.
Is he that fast that he can't slow down? What is he, a bright line train or something?
He said, yeah, after a play. I'm guessing he's at the practice. He's answering us.
Damn. Guy can't stop. That's crazy. It really is. What else do we have going on? Let's go with birthdays today. All right. We got some birthdays. Let's start off with Barack Obama is 62 years old today. Meghan Markle is 42 years old today. Let's see. Who else? Louis Armstrong was born on this date in 1901. We lost him in 71. I see skies of blue. Louis Vuitton, born on this date in 1821, passed away in 1892. Holy shit, this guy passed away in 1892, and Louis Vuitton is like still like enormous. 130-something years later. That's impressive. Louis Vuitton never made a silk suit. What else? Jeff Gordon, the Rainbow Warrior, is 52 years old. Elizabeth, the Queen Mother, who passed away in 2002, was born on this date in 1900. Tom Parker, pop singer, passed away in 2022, was born in 1988 on this date. Don't know him. Let's see. Haven't run into some wrestler that I don't know, so I can mention him. Billy Bob Thornton is 68 years old today.
He's not a wrestler.
No, he's not. But I don't see any wrestlers here today. Daniel Day Kim. He lost and Hawaii 5-0, right? 55 years old today. Daniel Day Kim. Those are your birthdays today. Let's tell you what happened in music history on August 4th. On this date in 1975, Led Zeppelin singer Robert Plant and his wife were both badly injured when the rented car Plant was driving spun off the road and crashed on the Greek islands of Rhodes. The rocker smashed his ankle and elbow, causing the band to have to cancel their North American tour. Bastards. In 1980, John Lennon began recording Double Fantasy with Yoko Ono. What a great album that is. God, it's an awesome album. 84, Genesis. Phil Collins married Jill Tavelman at a reception. Phil jammed with Eric Clapton and Robert Plant. Not bad. In 2003, Jack White posted a graphic video footage of his hand operation on the White Stripes website. The rocker needed 3 screws implanted to set the bone in his hand after a July car crash. In 2004, Taking Back Sunday debuted at number 3 on the album charts with their sophomore effort, Where You Want to Be. In 2008, Bono proved that he reads RollingStone.com by leaving a comment on the site reminiscing about U2's first album, Boy. That, my friends, is what happened today in music history. How about that?
Nice run by A-Chain.
A-Chain, what a nice run.
Yeah.
There we go. I love that kid.
He's getting reps on first and second team, 11 and 11.
Getting reps on first team. I'm not surprised. I told you guys he's going to get 5 to 10 carries a game, and he will also be a receiver out of the backfield. So watch it. You'll see. That's why they'd like to have Dalvin Cook. Sure. Great depth. It gives them a carousel of backs that they can just come at you one after another, after another, after another. But they have plans to use all of them. And the problem with a lot of you was, throw everybody out. We're only going to use Dalvin. That's not how they play the game. And that's how nobody really plays the game anymore. You know, maybe Tennessee can still do it for one more year because they've got Derrick Henry, but more often than not, it's a carousel of backs pretty much on every team nowadays. You're going to rotate guys in and out. That's the way it is.
Higgy drops a pass in drills.
Who dropped the pass?
Higgy.
Higgy? Higgy's dropping too many passes. Let's see. Good morning, Big O and Sean and the rest of the Heat Nation. Beer Noob says, I'm currently driving from central Pennsylvania to Detroit. Thanks for making the drive easier. Thank you, sir. And by the way, what's it called? Frankie, we just can't get in a car and go to Detroit to go watch a wrestling event. Okay? Plus, I'm not even a wrestling guy. What am I going to pay? Over $100 for that ticket?
He might give it a walk up. We'll be up in the nosebleeds.
In the nosebleeds, right. And I'm not even a wrestling guy, and you want me to pay a whole bunch of money. So I'm going to use my money to see Tesla tonight instead of go wrestling? No, bro. I think I'm going to go see Tesla. We got a bunch of people on this chat board right now. Tesla or wrestling? What should I do? Should I go see Tesla tonight, rock and roll? Or should I go on Saturday night, drive to Detroit, which is like, what, 3 hours away, he said?
That's what he said, yeah.
That's what he says, you know. Of course, Frankie's going to nail us like it's really 6 hours, and then he's going to tell me to stop at a Dairy Queen also. I'm all on the way. But anyway, wrestling or Tesla? Vote in right now on the chat board. Okay?
Hey, oh,
yes.
one more said for the second day in a row, they're rotating at left guard.
For the second day in a row, they're rotating at left guard? Those are called what? Tremors. Could be more tremors. You never know. Just saying. Just saying. Easy Tesla. Everybody, of course. Save some money, go to a museum. Rosendo, I don't want to go to a museum, bro. I like rocking out, bro. Tesla. Definitely Tesla if you're not a wrestling fan. I'm not really much of a I know all about wrestling, but I'm not really a wrestling fan. Like, I can break it all down for you, give you predictions, give you winners, but, you know, it's just that it isn't what it is. This is the reason why GMs know more than us. I question the Cam Smith pick, and look how important he's been since the Ramsey injury. Exactly. You gotta think ahead. One more time, big up T. Wingfield, man, is doing Lord's work. Yes, Travis is a good person and knows his shit. Now, he works at it too. That's the other thing. You know, we got a lot of lazy media people that don't really work at it. And so that's kind of why you get some of that stuff out there. But Travis is one of those guys that works at it, bro. Works at it and works hard. Okay? Knows his shit. A lot of respect for him. Did you see anything on the chat board? Did anybody give us any tips for any great places to eat today? No, right? I haven't seen anything. Nobody that lives in the Canton area, Cleveland, I don't know, going all the way to Cleveland today. Probably not. But in this Canton, Akron area, nobody knows like a good place to eat, good burger place. That's kind of what we need today, right? For lunch. What do you think, Sean? A good burger place? You know? Because you're going to make me go to Hardee's. Haven't had a Hardee's burger in a while. God, I used to love Hardee's so badly. 49th Street, Hialeah. Those were the days. Those were the days. By the way, Ron Rivera wants to warn you about something. Some of you out there are sleeping on this. Yep. There's a lot of you out there that you just don't get it. You know? Some of you out there, you're just lost. You're like a Cam Cameron type of football team, a rudderless ship, and you have nowhere to go. And some of you, you know, you shouldn't fall asleep on the job, but you are. And Ron Rivera wants to remind you, okay? He wants to tell you. Jacoby Brissett is kicking some serious ass. I said it a couple times. Don't sleep on Jacoby. He's done a nice job as well. I mean, we've got some really good quarterbacks playing on right now. We've got a really good quarterback room. We're very happy with what we've got right now. So Ron Rivera sees something that you don't see. See something that I don't see. You and I are lost. We're sleeping on the job. We're not believing in Jacoby Brissett. I mean, we saw him here. Didn't it convince you that he was great? I mean, you know, I saw that and I retweeted and I put some laughing emojis, and somebody tweets back to me, he was good last year. So I said it back to them. 12 touchdowns, 6 interceptions in 11 games. He's barely averaging over a touchdown a game. If you think that's good, I can't help you. You know? But apparently he's turned the corner. After all of these years, Ron Rivera is selling you Jacoby Brissett. So we're all going to regret that they cut Jacoby Brissett. We're going to say, why do we have Tua here? Look at Jacoby Brissett. He is tearing it up for the Washington Redskins. They're undefeated. They're on the brink of matching the Dolphins' record of undefeated season, and we could have had Jacoby Brissett. Don't sleep on Jacoby Brissett, according to Ron Rivera. Coaches will say the craziest thing just to support their guy. Jesus. Don't sleep on Jacoby Brissett. Chris Wilson Fishing. Thank you for the love in the super chat. Very nice of you. Says, Big O, I'm going to see Motley Crue in Syracuse my first time. Do you have to? Do you have to? Do you know that Vince Neil can't sing anymore? John 5 is your guitarist. They're kind of mailing it in, dude. You're watching a shell of what you used to watch. Just want you to know. If this is the tour with Def Leppard, at least you get to see Def Leppard and Joe Elliott still sounds great. The band sounds phenomenal. So at least you're getting that. But I just want to warn you ahead of time. My God, you're seeing a shell of what they were, bro. You're better off going to go to YouTube and, I don't know, turn on the performance at the US Festival and enjoy that or something. I got to tell you, Chris, I just want to warn you ahead of time, okay? That band is not even close to what it used to be. Now, if you're going for the Leopard show, if I think they're together, then you win. You'll still get to see Def Leppard and all that. Just be aware, man. You know, Motley Crue right now is kind of like the Jacoby Brissett of heavy metal, basically. Just want you to know that, bro. Orlando, have you ever been to a pro live? No, never have. Jay, I've never been a wrestling guy in my life, ever, never. I respect what they do because they are athletes and they put their bodies through a grinder and all that stuff. But no, I've never been to a wrestling event. Unfortunately, I don't even think LeBron James has a good place to eat in Ohio. Hey, man, what was the name of that place yesterday? El Patron's. It was good, dude. It was fine. It was a good Mexican place. I feel so bad for Terry McLaurin and Dotson. McLaurin would be an all-pro if he had a QB. Well, he's already an all-pro. He's an all-pro in my book. Brissett always makes me hungry thinking about brisket. That's true. Didn't you know that Brissett is the next Rich Gannon? There you go. I like it. Jabroni brisket. That's the one we know. So Washington is tanking, huh? Brissett is the only QB that sometimes plays unterrible, but is still painful to watch. Let's see. I do before they all die. I just want to see Nikki Sixx. I got you. All right. Well, enjoy it, my brother. Enjoy it. I'm sure they'll put on a decent show. at least, but they, the sound is just not the same, unfortunately. Oh, ask Sean if he remembered Bugsy McGraw used to be a wrestling fan 40 years ago. Yes. Sean, do you know Bugsy McGraw?
Yes, I do.
You do?
Yes.
What can you tell us about Bugsy McGraw?
I remember him in championship wrestling from Florida. He used to wear the, what's the old airman's helmet?
The what?
The leather.
Oh, yeah.
The goggles and come to the ring and camouflage pants.
So, leather helmet, goggles he's talking about, and all that. So, yeah.
Hit his head. Good guy.
Okay.
I like
and remember, you can make a donation through Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. And you can make a Bitcoin donation, which we love our Bitcoin donations. That is always incredibly important. Bitcoin's still over 29,000, so it's holding pretty strong. I saw Illuvium this morning and still moving. Illuvium's up close to 11%. It's the one thing that's moving in the market right now. I'm a big Illuvium guy. It's up to $46. You could have gotten Illuvium. I think I talked about it when it was $40, $41. I was telling you guys Illuvium. And one of the reasons why also is very, very limited number of Illuviums are available as it is. So it's a low number. And it was in the 40, 41 range for a while. And today it jumped up to $46. And it is eventually it's going to skyrocket. That's what I think. Not a financial advisor, but that's kind of what I'm expecting it to do. Do want to remind you that Craig Zinn's Acura Pembroke Pines is a proud sponsor of our program, folks. You can check out the new MDX, $579 a month. The 2023, by the way, brand new. Brand new 2023 TLX, $369. The Integra is out of control. It is a beautiful car. 2024. Every time I see that Integra, and they have some killer colors and leather combinations there at Craig Zinn's Acura Pembroke Pines. They've got it as low as $339 a month. They've got 3.9% financing for 36 months. It's the Summer of Performance event going on right now at Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. So make sure you tell them that Big O sent you. Promise you that they will definitely take care of you. Hey, my coworker is a Seahawks fan, and he's talking a big game, and I kind of stumped him with this question. Did Geno just get lucky, or this team finally built for him? Matthew, somebody just mentioned Rich Gannon. Rich Gannon, the light went on for him like 9 years into his career, or 8 or something. He floated around Minnesota and Kansas City, and then finally got to the Raiders. And with John Gruden, he had the system, and it turned him into an MVP caliber player. Geno Smith could have gotten lucky 1 year, and now they've got it all on tape, and they kind of figure out everything that he's trying to do or what they're doing with him, and now they will counter in those chess moves. The question is, will Geno be able to respond? And that's what we don't know. So it's a great question on your part. Is he a late bloomer? Or did he have a, what was his name? Anderson from the Browns, the quarterback. He had 1 year. They gave him Derek Anderson. Derek Anderson had 1 year with the Browns, since we're here in Ohio, and they gave him a fat contract, and he flopped after that. What is the saying we have had on this show for over 20 years? Any pro player can have a good day, good week, good month, good year. The real pros are the ones that can do it year in and year out. So your question is valid. Your Seahawks fans' concern is valid because we just don't know. Is he Rich Gannon? Is he Derek Anderson? Is he Timmy Smith for the Redskins in the Super Bowl with 200 yards? That Timmy Smith did nothing before and did nothing after that. What was it? Larry Brown for the Raiders, had like 3 interceptions in the Super Bowl, or somebody else, and then the Raiders gave him a contract or something. I forgot how it went. But Larry Brown like had this Super Bowl of all Super Bowls to be remembered, and then he got a big fat contract and he did nothing. Is he Stephen Davis? Stephen Davis, his first couple of years, do you know what he was famous for? Getting his ass kicked by Michael Westbrook on the sidelines for the Redskins. But in his, look it up for me, was it the 4th or the 5th year where the light went on for Stephen Davis? And running backs, rarely the light goes on that late. But it went on, I want to say year 4 or 5, and then he became a Pro Bowl running back for several years after that. Sometimes we can't explain it. You know? Sometimes you're Peerless Price, and you have a decent year, and then all of a sudden you have this really good year next to Eric Moulds, and Atlanta thinks you're number one, and they give you a fat-ass contract. And when they take you away from Eric Moulds, you melt like Frosty the Snowman.
3 years.
What was that? 3 years? It was the 3rd year they kicked in, or the 4th year?
The 4th year.
It was. That's what I said. Either 4 or 5. Okay, so it was a 4th year that Stephen Davis became a real running back. For 3 years, he did nothing except get his ass kicked by Michael Westbrook on the sideline. For those of you that don't remember, some of you might be too young. Michael Westbrook came out of Colorado. He was part of that Cordell Stewart play. That was big for Mike McCarthy, I think. The other Mike McCarthy, not the one that's with Green Bay and Dallas. The other McCarthy. That I think he won a co-championship, if I'm correct. But anyway, Westbrook, apparently there was some heated exchange between him and Stephen Davis. And in the middle of practice, and the film was running, and it went viral. It was the early days of viral. And Westbrook, like, it was a really disturbing situation because he got him, and brother, he pounded the crap out of him. And that's what Stephen Davis was pretty much infamous for until he actually started to run the ball like a Pro Bowl running back for several years for Washington and then the Carolina Panthers. So we'll find out if Geno Smith is real or Memorex, basically. Oh, you ever try the Immaculate Grid? If so, are you any good? I heard about that. I haven't tried it, but I have heard about that game. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Only time he actually had a team or system built for him to come into was the year Geno was drafted. Other than that, they just passed him around until Seattle found him. We're going to find out. Yeah, Eric Moulds was a doll. Eric Moulds was a killer, period. Let's just give Eric Moulds the credit he deserves. He was a great receiver. But yeah, he killed our team constantly. Big O, do you think the Damian Lillard trade is done before training camp? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I think it's going to be later part of September. Because I didn't realize that training camp starts in October, early October. Usually it's like mid to late September. So I thought this would drag on to late August, early September, right before camp. But camp is early October, then this is going to drag on to late September. That once we get closer to camp, Cronin will flip and he'll get things going. He'll realize he has no choice. Giants and Seahawks are going to come back to reality in 23. Watch out for the Saints to surprise. Well, they did get a quarterback. Betting over wins for Saints. I'll be collecting money in January. Good for you, Eric. What up, Big O? Have you listened to the play callers McDaniel on Keep It Up? Keep up the good work. No, I have not. I have not. All right, folks, we are out of here. We thank Manny Navarro. Couldn't get any of the guys because they're in practice, so it's kind of in the middle. But we are going to have shows tomorrow and Sunday. So I'll get some of the guys to join me throughout the weekend. It'll be spotty when we do the shows. I don't know exactly what time we're going to do it tomorrow or whatever. But again, that's why I tell you, hit the notification bell. That way you know when Sean drops new content, when him and Frankie go live for wrestling, whenever I kickstart the crypto show, which I think after the Montreal trip, I think getting into September, October, I think is when I'm going to start, because that's when I think crypto is really going to pick up. And instead of me just talking you off the ledge every day, which is what I do here on the show for crypto, I'd rather not do a show to just kind of repeat myself the whole time. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, hit that notification bell. We will see you tomorrow. And we'll see some of you today at 2:00 over at Canton and at Shula's Bust. And be ready for that. You'll see it on social media. You'll see it here on YouTube. So hit the notification bell. We'll see you all tomorrow. Same time, same place, same bat channel.
You've been listening to the Big O Radio Show live from Canton, Ohio, as Zach Thomas is inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. This road trip is brought to you by Cutter's Edge Pro, Sloman's Home Security, EJDconstruction.com, Perdomo Cigars, Baptist Health of South Florida, and Welton Rayome offices. The platform is mastered by Sean Stanley. To make a donation to our platform, please go to Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. To be a sponsor of the #1 platform covering the Miami Dolphins, reach out to our business line, 786-754-4664. On behalf of everyone that contributes to this platform, thank you for your support. Go Fins!